catch set screens and roll to the basket. He's a unbelievable cutter, and tonight he showed us he's capable of knocking down the three ball. So he does it all. He works his butt off, and when you work your tail off and just keep grinding and pushing, good things happen for you. And I'm so happy for him, and I'm proud of him.
The run that you guys have been on, is it just a natural progression? Was it the Pistons game? Was there a conversation that sparked the increased intensity? What would you say has sparked this run where you guys have just really been locked in and reeling off 7 straight wins?
It might have been that Pistons game. It's not the one thing particular. It might have just been like, we're tired of losing and let's start winning. And by any means necessary, whatever it takes. And each guy's been locked in. We've had a few guys in and out lineups or whatnot, but the next man up and the next man ready to go. Obviously Jeff TLC was out tonight, but just guys came in and was prepared and played big minutes, and they stepped up.
Alex Shiver with The Athletic.
Hey James, I was just curious what you thought of the Knicks game tonight, it being the first time you played with them this season.
What was that?
Just what you thought of Nick Claxton's game, yeah.
Very good. He's great. Set screens, roll to the basket. Obviously, it's his first time out there all season long, or since I've been here. So it felt good. I'm happy for him to be actually on the court. As I've been here, he's been training and trying to get in shape and trying to get healthy and get his body right. So it felt good. I'm sure for him to be on the court and actually, showing the work that he's been putting in. So. As the games continue to go on, he'll get more confidence and he'll continue to be better.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey James, might seem like a weird question, but what does it do for a team to win 7 in a row? Like, does it give you guys an extra feeling about yourselves? Like, what's the feeling now that you guys have won these many games in a row?
We have to continue to keep going. This always is a tough game coming off a long road trip, whether it's legs, whether it's just the travel, whatever the case may be. And, we kept talking about it all day, even this morning in the shoot-around that, we got to be prepared. It's going to be a tough game, but we got to be locked in, whether it's our legs or whatever the case, no excuses. And we came out and showed that tonight from the beginning of the game. So we just got to continue to keep going, get some rest, and be prepared every single game.
Tom Dowd with BrooklynNets.com.
James, there were a couple guys tonight who really hadn't played before, not just Nick, but Andre and Sean. How was it just kind of getting in a rhythm with all those guys and, working with them?
It's easy for us, like now, especially, our roles are defined. So those guys come in and they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and they came in and did an unbelievable job of it. And that's what's so great. I think that's why we're more comfortable now, because guys know their roles and know what to expect from themselves and the rest of our team. And, once everyone has an understanding of that, as a team, we're much better. No matter who checks in the game, and that's why we've been so efficient. As far as when one guy goes down and one guy isn't in that night, then the next guy is up and he knows what his role is. So we have to continue that, and we have done a really good job of it as of lately.
Ryan Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey James, got 2 quick questions for you. One. Is this a game, a lot's been discussed about your guys' record against, quote, losing teams. Is this a game that you guys might not have won 2 or 3 weeks ago? And in terms of the All-Star game, obviously you've made a string of them in a row, but is there any different feeling if you're going to be going to an All-Star game with 2 teammates, assuming that KD is healthy and present?
What was the first question? I think for us, we can't worry about what happened 2 weeks ago or our mindset. I think now we're in a whole different mindset, and we just got to stay that way. I think we don't look at the names on the jersey. We look at ourselves and figure out how can we be great every single night. And we prepare ourselves as much as we can, and we go out there and play our brand of basketball every single night. And as of lately, we've been doing that at a high level, in which we'll continue to do that. And then for the All-Star game, it's always a blessing. That means you're doing something right. That means you've been playing extremely well up to that point, and you never want to take opportunities like that for granted. So I'm blessed. I'm fortunate to be a part of my 9th All-Star game, and yeah.
Yeah, and with Harden being named as a reserve, by the way, first time in Nets history, they have 3 Nets going in the same year.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving voted on as starters. All 3 of them deserve it. The best teams should have the most players, just like Philadelphia has 2 players and they wanted Tobias Harris. But Harden certainly deserved it. You think about kind of where his season was when he started out in Houston. It looked like he was going to be on the move. He was playing okay, but the team wasn't doing well. But the way that he's played here since getting to Brooklyn, remember the coaches vote.
Yeah.
For the reserves. And the coaches have been impressed with James Harden. How can you not be?
When Sarah and Ryan were talking, I like the way Sarah put it with him. He's like a basketball savant.
Yeah.
It's like he sees the game sometimes, I think, different than other players, even maybe really good point guards.
Yeah, and I remember talking to Mike D'Antoni about it because Mike D'Antoni had Steve Nash in Phoenix. He was a 2-time MVP, and just the difference of the 2 players. Now, James Harden is obviously more of a scorer than Steve Nash was, but just the way that they read the game and the great players like that, they always seem to be. You want to get to the highest level like Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas, the Hall of Famer. They think the game kind of a split second ahead of everybody else. Jason Kidd was like that when he played with the New Jersey Nets. Harden is like that as well.
Well, entering play tonight, Harden and the Nets were just a half game behind first place Philly in the Eastern Conference. The Sixers in action going up against a Raptors team that went into Tuesday 4 games back of Philly. Big start for the Sixers. Furkan Korkmaz will comes up with a fake and the 3. He had 16 points in the opening quarter as the Sixers got up by 19 over the Raptors. They were in control in the 4th, but Pascal Siakam and the Raptors rallied, part of a 28-1-8 run, but the Sixers able to answer.
And Ben Simmons, who deserves to be on the All-Star team. Here's Tobias Harris over to Ben Simmons in traffic. Does the red and black court and the red and black uniforms, I know I've been complaining a lot about uniforms. Does that drive you nuts a little bit?
They blend in. Yeah, I mean, maybe guys just disappear.
Wear white, wear yellow or something. I don't know.
So there's a showdown coming up between the Philly and the Nets, but just a half game back. I mean, that's a good spot for the Nets to be in, and they got there on the strength, the backbone of that West Coast trip.
Yeah, and remember, they did beat Philadelphia once this year without all their guys, and obviously they lost to them down there. And Embiid will be an issue. But again, the Nets, forget about just keeping their head above water. They're rattling off 7 wins, 6 of them without Kevin Durant. That's what's so impressive.
Yeah, and you said don't know when yet, but he's going to be back fairly soon, it seems. Furkan Korkmaz will comes up with a fake and the 3. He had 16 points in the opening quarter as the Sixers got up by 19 over the Raptors. They were in control in the 4th, but Pascal Siakam and the Raptors rallied, part of a 28-1-8 run, but the Sixers able to answer.
And Ben Simmons, who deserves to be on the All-Star team. Here's Tobias Harris over to Ben Simmons in traffic. Does the red and black court and the red and black uniforms, I know I've been complaining a lot about uniforms. Does that drive you nuts a little bit?
They blend in. Yeah, I mean, maybe guys just disappear.
Wear white, wear yellow or something. I don't know.
So there's a showdown coming up between the Philly and the Nets, but just a half game back. I mean, that's a good spot for the Nets to be in, and they got there on the strength, the backbone of that West Coast trip.
Yeah, and remember, they did beat Philadelphia once this year without all their guys, and obviously they lost to them down there. And Embiid will be an issue. But again, the Nets